Welcome back to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. I'm your host, Biro. As it says, please feel free to interact in the chat or tag us on any social media. If you can read that very small print, Twitter, we are on as Biro Sports Talk. YouTube, we got Biro Sports Talk. Facebook, we're Biro Sports Talk. And of course, Twitch is Biro Sports Gaming. Now, haven't been doing much of the gaming of late, but could see an increase here shortly. But I'm going to leave that on for a little bit as I continue to try and finish setting up. Oh, I hope everyone had a great holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. New Year, new Biro Sports Talk. As you can already see, some of the bottom graphics have changed. I would love to add more, but due to not necessarily having the time to do more, we get little bits and pieces. Congratulations are in order. Diego Palacios, the champion of the Biro Sports Talk Fantasy Football League. Thank you for joining. Everyone did great. I ended up 7th, but that's okay. My team just fell apart at the end. And that's what happens when your number one draft pick doesn't play most of the year. But how do we move on from all of this? We're a little late actually getting to the mic. Had a lot of stuff to do in preparation for today. So let's start with the obvious. Week 16 and Week 17 went back over both. I think I just showed you a blank page. There we go. 12-4 both weeks, ending the year in the regular season 165 and 84. That's a really good benchmark for picking games, especially finishing strong 12-4 both the final weeks. Some of the picks probably would have changed if I knew Kansas City was benching everyone. I would have flipped. The Bears was just a homer pick, of course. But the week before, those were more just upsets. Looking at it, it's just upsets. I mean, the only one I would have probably flipped would have been the Rams in Seattle. I probably would have went Seattle instead of the Rams, but Seattle did their job. Are you ready for playoff football? Now, let's talk about some playoff football. So this year, we get to see 7 teams make... Yeah, don't mind me. I have an eyelash in my eye. I think I got it right there. But there might be more. Anyways. As we were saying, playoff football. We got... Instead of the traditional 4 games, we get 6 this week. Everyone's excited. And I don't blame them. I have my picks, but I also have my... They're not my picks, but I want to happen games. So let's start with the obvious. We got Bills versus the Colts. I think this will be closer than a lot of us will think. I'm going Bills over Indianapolis. It's just what I believe will happen. The Bills are a very good team, and I think they know it, and they're starting to prove it a lot. Next, we got Seattle and the Los Angeles Rams. I almost called them St. Louis, but it's Los Angeles. I'm picking Russell Westbrook. John Wolford, I think, handicaps the Rams a little bit. thus Seattle running away with it. So far, 2-0 or 2 for 2 with home teams. Let's go with an away team now. Going Bucks over the Washington football team. Tom Brady gets it done. I know some people have the Saints going to the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people have the Buccaneers going to the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that here shortly. But for the picks this week, Bucks over Washington football team. Titans, Ravens, rematch. I think the Titans got them. Let's be honest. I think the Titans are a solid team. They're going to put the pedal to the metal and run on these Ravens. Again, home team. The thing about this year is this is the first time ever that the home teams were under 500 for the year. So think about that. That's kind of crazy to think about. With no fans in no fans in the stands. That's interesting. Bears, Saints. Here's the first one that I picked the Saints over the Bears because it's more realistic. But now for the wants. I want the Bears to win so bad. I want Trubisky to do well. We watched the same Bears team play the Saints earlier in the year. Like, no joke. We watched this. This was same Bears team with Nick Foles. And they struggled. Ugh. Struggle. I'm trying to... Team schedules. Yeah, let's go to the Bears. The Bears. Anyways. These two face off during the season. It was a 26-23 overtime loss for the Bears. The thing is, the Saints should do better than that. Going to the game now. I didn't think so. Drew Brees didn't really turn the ball over. Nick Foles, of course, did. And if I'm not mistaken, Nick Foles didn't really come alive until... He came, in the fourth quarter. He didn't know. This was during that long drought of 0 points in the third quarter. Oh, boy. I think there's a kickoff return, maybe. No, not this game. But yeah, as I was saying, though, this was a very... Oh, my goodness. This was a very... Nick Foles being subpar game. If I'm going to be very honest, if Trubisky was playing in this game at the level he was for those 4 games where we were scoring, that probably would have flipped it and the Bears would have won. It was also if I'm looking at the weeks, the second straight loss with Foles. But yeah, like just looking at this, team's better with Trubisky right now. Not bad though. Not bad. We'll see how they go. I'm still picking Saints over the Bears. Now, the next 2 teams will be interesting. We got Steelers. We got Browns. They were 1-1 on the year. Steelers deciding to rest players. Don't mind me just looking around. I thought I had a water, but I guess I don't know where I placed it. Oh well. But back to the team schedules. It was supposed to show me the Browns and it didn't. Browns are 1-1. First game they lost 38-7. This recent game was 24-22. We're gonna be honest. If the Browns can run the ball, and not just run the ball, but run the ball effectively, and keep the ball out of Ben Roethlisberger's hands, they have a chance. It would be interesting to see them beat the Steelers. However, I have the Steelers over the Browns. As much as I would love to see the Browns upset the Steelers, only because it's someone different winning. But let's be honest, the Steelers are just that well put together of a team. Now, one of the predictions early on, I'm pretty sure, was 3 teams of the AFC North making playoffs. There you go. Not even surprised. But those are my picks for the playoffs. Very likely we see the Chiefs and, let's not forget, the Packers making it to the Super Bowl. Both teams are the only teams on bye. First year where the number 2 team has to play in the wild card weekend. For the Saints, I don't think they mind playing the Bears. For the Bills, it's a little tougher. AFC was a lot tougher to make the playoffs. The Dolphins 1 game out, but a solid year at 10-6. This coming Monday, even though there's been a lot of COVID talk, is the national championship. Now, if you remember the last show 2 weeks ago, I went on bold predictions of Ohio State's going to win. They're going to play Alabama. Here they are, Ohio State and Alabama. If Ohio State plays the way they just played against Clemson, I truly think Ohio State will beat Alabama. However, all this COVID, who's going to be able to play, who's not going to be able to play, will bring a certain uncertainty to this game, and it will be very, very interesting on how this will play out. Man, it's already 7:25, but here we are, late start basically. It's 7:23, but we round. The big discussion though for college football is it necessarily enough? Are 4 teams enough? There's been lots of talk. I, for one, advocate for 8. Give me 8 and guarantee 1 group of 5. And then you have your at-larges. Oh, excuse me. You would have Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC, group of 5, 2 at-large. I think that's plenty. A lot of people would say you need 3 at-large. If Notre Dame should be top 8 to get in. It's not that hard for them, if that's the case. But that's what I'm saying. They could get top 8, they're in. They're an at-large, technically. There could be complaints. I mean, there's always complaints. This year, a lot of people think Texas A&M should have been in. I mean, if you look at a lot of this scores of the bowl games, I'm going to be flat out honest. Very disappointed with a lot of bowl games. I'm glad BYU won. They did had a great year. But the ones I'm disappointed with, oh man. Liberty beat Coastal. That was just heartbreaking. I'm trying to find. I know the other one. I know Cincinnati was my other big one I really wanted to win. San Jose State, I wanted to win also, but Ball State, congrats on such a big win. The MAC was 2-0 in bowl games. Man, Georgia beating Cincy was a just heartbreaker, man. Texas A&M destroyed. Here's the thing I didn't understand. So you have Texas A&M 5, right? Why are they playing number 13? Why is 5 playing 13? Excuse me. If anything, 5 should be playing 6. Because that was the Florida game, wasn't it? If I remember right. I'm trying to look. Yep. Oklahoma was 6. That would have been a good one. Since Oklahoma ran over Florida. But anyways, Iowa State ran over the Oregon Ducks. Ole Miss upset Indiana. Kentucky beat NC State. And of course, like we said, the last one's next Monday. Ohio State, Bama. Prediction. If I had to go out on a whim, I think that the Buckeyes will get it done. They will put in the work, and they will win this game. Excuse me. Ooh. If you haven't heard, Biro Sports Talk has another fantasy league going on. It's fantasy basketball. Yeah, we're doing it this year. And what an opening weekend to say. My wife beat me, of course. One Tree Hill Ravens win again. But in the NBA, let's talk about just where the standings are, where we're heading. I mean, we're almost 10 games in. I mean, Sixers are number 1, Magic 2, Pacers 3, all surprises. 5 is the Knicks, that's a surprise. Celtics 4, Cavaliers are 7 with Brooklyn Nets, and the Hawks at 9. They're all 4-4. The Bucks are 6. I mean, you got teams within striking distance. The ones that are a little more shocking, though, are probably, well, it's definitely the East. Because you look at the West right now, you got the Suns, the Lakers, the Clippers, Golden State, Utah, Pelicans, Kings, and Trailblazers. But the Mavericks are right there, the Nuggets are right there, Spurs, Thunder, always right there. We are still too early. We are too early, but what a blast will be. Magic with a great start, they'll probably make playoffs because of it. But here we are, also with a big trade in Major League Baseball. It's the trade I really did not want to happen. Let's be honest. I was highly upset when I saw this earlier. Francisco Lindor is now a New York Met. Indians had a great player who wanted to be an Indian for life, and the Indians trade him away. I mean, the Indians get younger. It's a tradition the Indians have been known for. The Indians keep trading away great pieces. I mean, right now you got Shane Bieber who could be going. But I mean, you got to look at like a CC Sabathia, Cliff Lee, Trevor Bowers. Usually pitchers we get rid of who are really good. Really good players have left. Yeah, and looking at who this affects, I'm not worried about it. What I am worried about is that the Indians are not going to be competitive. The Twins are decent, White Sox are decent, the Royals could be decent, but the Indians could be on the outside looking in now. It's just I just don't understand. Potential, arguably your best player, and you trade him away for some prospects, some guys who are so. I would have kept him, but I am a loyalist, so I would have been loyal because he's been there for the Indians for so long. So, probably the downfall of the team. And this is also why I like playing NCAA football, the video game, versus Madden. Because in Madden, terrible with the salary cap. NCAA football, I know you're there for 4 to 5 years and then you're gone. And then I move on. But thank you for everyone who has tuned into the show tonight. Thank you for those who will be watching this later. I know I've been told some people watch it later. We will see how everything plays out. NHL coming soon. Hockey's going to be back. Basketball is almost 10 games in. NFL playoffs, college championship. And of course, what would be any NFL analysis than to talk about Black Monday? So it's called Black Monday because all the firings that happen, usually on Monday. I think this year it happened a little earlier. I think a lot of it was known by Sunday. But if we look at all the firings, if I can get to it, the teams looking for coaches. You have the Chargers, you have the Jets, you have the Jaguars, who are rumored for Urban Meyer right now, the Falcons, the Lions, and the Texans. Most intriguing two teams, honestly, are probably the Texans and the Chargers. Falcons could be interesting, but I think the Falcons are due for a hard reboot soon. Lions are interesting because, oh boy, I'm trying to think how who the Lions get would be interesting indeed. I just you have a great quarterback and you've wasted so many of his years. Guy who's been out there balling out for you for the Lions organization. But these positions will probably get filled here in the next few weeks. We'll see how it plays out. I hope, like I said at the beginning of the show, I hope everyone had a great holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy New Year, of course. The ones that New Year and Christmas, of course, the ones I celebrate. Doing the show a day after what happened yesterday at our Capitol. it's a scary time right now, but at the same time, it's a time that we all just need to come together and start believing in a solidary whatever. Not good with words. I was going to say a singular goal, solidarity. Not good with words, but still doing a podcast. But thank you, everyone, again. May we all have a better tomorrow. And I will see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. I don't know why it was so questionable, but it's how it goes. So see you